Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and we're with you for the 3pm games on the Premier League today. And I tell you what, we've got some absolute bloody crackers. There's no doubt about that. It may as well be Christmas. We may as well be sat there tucking into turkey with a big box of crackers because that's what we've got for you today. So many 3 o'clock games. Brentford against Chelsea, Everton against West Ham, Fulham against Brighton, Newcastle against Wolves, Forest against Liverpool and Tottenham against Crystal Palace. This is going to be frantic. This is going to be interesting. And I'm pretty sure that by 5 o'clock, we'll have had a few shocks. We will have had a few shocks. More shocks than an episode of Nightmare on Elm Street. They don't even do that. What's that? Let's not go. It's not Notts Forest, Mark. It is when I do the title, so swivel on it. I'm not a Forest fan. I'm calling you Notts Forest, and that's how you know I'm not. It's Notts Forest against Liverpool. Swivel on it. Literally listening to the podcast says Abs. Thanks very much for supporting the podcast. Now, if everything goes to plan today, very excitingly, we should be able to show you this, which will have live scores on it as it happens, a brand new feature for you. So we're hoping that that's going to work. I'm sure it will. There's no reason why it won't. But we'll get into team news first. We'll get into team news in a moment, but we are sponsored by HelloFresh. And hello Fresh, hello this. This is what Goldbridge has got for tea tonight. Absolutely banging. Cannot wait for it. I will tell you all about that and how you can be part of the HelloFresh movement with me in a moment or two. But links in the description. Use that code, massive discount and some fantastic food I'm going to show you about in a moment. But let's have a look at the teams in the featured game that we have, because we can't put everybody up. But as you can see, that's the Nottingham Forest lineup today. And look, this is a title race game. No Arsenal, no Man City. They play Monday and Sunday respectively. But Nottingham Forest, I watched them against Manchester United in the Cup on Wednesday. They weren't that impressive. And but interestingly, he's gone with a different front four. He's gone with Alanga, Gibbs-White and Hudson-Odoi does start with Origi up front and Gibbs-White in behind them. But it's more interesting when you look at this Liverpool team. They aren't, I wouldn't say they're doing it the hard way, but they're doing it a way that not a lot of clubs are having to. More changes. Kelleher's in goal. Bradley, Kanate, Van Dijk and Robertson. McAllister, Gomez and Clark. What's that midfield for Liverpool? I mean, we were talking about the midfield revolution for Liverpool under Klopp, but that's not a combination I thought he could play. When you've got McAllister, when you've got Endo, when you've got Szoboszlai, when you've got Gravenberch, when you've got Harvey Elliott, when you've got Curtis Jones, Thiago. This is not a midfield three I thought that we would see this season. McAllister, Gomez and Clark, and then a front three of Elliott, Gakpo and Diaz. On the bench, they do have Endo, Szoboszlai, Nunes, so they can change it if they need to, but I would say that probably that's not something that Jurgen Klopp wants to do today because of all the injury problems they've had. He probably doesn't really want to be risking players and thinks and trusts the players that he's got out there today. Let me just put this out. I forgot to tweet. Join in all the 3 p.m. match chat now. There we go. That'll do. Lovely stuff. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this. I don't think we've had a Saturday 3 o'clock like this in a very, very long time. So hopefully we're going to get some real shocks. I mean, look, early doors, my thoughts just whizzing down here. I will give you my quick score predictions. Brentford, Chelsea, draw. Everton, West Ham, Everton. Fulham, Brighton, draw. Newcastle, Wolves, Newcastle. Forest, Liverpool, Liverpool. Tottenham, Crystal Palace, Tottenham. Obviously, Luton is coming tomorrow and Aston Villa and everyone like that. But that's the weekend fixtures for you. But yeah, see how many of those you get right with me. I'm going to go Brentford, Chelsea, draw. Everton, win. Fulham, Brighton, draw. Newcastle, win. Liverpool win, Tottenham win. That's what I'm going for today. Score predictions for Liverpool, Chelsea and United. I've just done 2 of them. United will lose Man United 8-8-8-8, I'm afraid. What's more likely in your opinion, says Max? Gibbs-White to have a shot on target or Cole Palmer to score assist? Yeah, I'll go Cole Palmer there. I don't really think Gibbs White's going to get many shots where he can get it on target, if I'm being completely honest. But Luton is today against Aston Villa. It's a 5:30 kickoff. I'm on TalkSport, so I wouldn't be doing that game anyway, but I wouldn't do it anyway. I just wouldn't do it. If I'm being completely honest, I just wouldn't do it. I really wouldn't. Right, let me tell you about HelloFresh, because this is absolutely fantastic. We often have food chats on a Saturday afternoon stream. It's a tradition, but I can tell you what I'm going to be eating today. I'm going to be eating a culinary delight, which is going to be 21-day aged fillet steak and peppercorn sauce with rosemary hasselbacks, roasted carrots and tender stem. And that's what it looks like. HelloFresh invites you to join the culinary adventure with me, simplifying mealtime with its convenient meal delivery service. And here's what's on the menu. Diverse menu selections. Enjoy meals like salmon on fresh pesto, tagliatelle, chicken stir fry. I actually had some of these the other day, actually. I'll go through some of them. There you go, stir-fried. What's that one? Stir-fried sesame beef noodles. That was absolutely fantastic. And what was the other one they were talking about? I've got so many here. There's so many. Here it is. This was great. Salmon on fresh pesto tagliatelle. Lovely stuff. All of it gets delivered for you. Instructions on the back on how you do it. All the ingredients come with it. It's effortless cooking experience. It's each delivery card comes with it with all the ingredients, like I say. Utmost convenience, delivered to your door. And of course, with That's Football, you've got a brilliant bit of an offer here. It's an exclusive offer. You can get, by using the code football24, an incredible 60% off your first HelloFresh blocks, plus 25% off your next 2 months, along with 3 special items. So 60% off your first box of food. You know, you can get like 4 or whatever like that delivered. Then 25% off for the next 2 months, along with 3 special items. Don't miss out on this exclusive deal. Click the link in the description or scan that QR code on your camera phone to embark on your gastronomic journey with HelloFresh and Mark Goldbridge. Elevate your dining experience with minimal effort and maximum flavour. So a lot of people always ask me what I'm having for tea tonight. I had that on Wednesday. That was very, very nice. This is one of my favourites. Cheesy beef mince ragu stew was absolutely delicious. That was the apple, but this is what I'm having. Oh no, that's another one. Rosemary and garlic lamb steak. I had that before. No, that's not what I'm having. This is what I'm having. That's my tea tonight. Soon as I'm finished at 5 o'clock, I'm cooking this, and apparently it's going to take. Does it put the cooking time on the front? Yeah, 40 minutes. And I'll enjoy that with a glass of wine. Love it. Anyway, check it out. Massive discount for you exclusively with that code, which is link in the description. And the code should... What was the code? Why is that not on the QR code? Football24. That was it there. Football24. Links in the description for that. Thank you very much. Right, we are 5 minutes away from the start of this game. Very, very excited by it. Hope you are as well. We will be keeping you updated with all of the score and action going on. There's lots of games going on, not just in the Premier League, by the way. Also, I'll be keeping an eye on Solihull Moors, my local team. Lost midweek against Kidderminster, but we'll be keeping an eye on them as well. And also, we'll be keeping an eye on football. Fantasy Premier League. I've not picked my bloody team again. I'm a bloody idiot. For the second week in a row, I've not picked my team. So I'm a bit of a prat, really, because I was doing all right on FPL, and I've not picked my team for the second week in a row. So I've got Kelleher in goal, Senesi, Saliba, Estebanan, De Bruyne, Garnacho, Saka, Son, Watkins, Haaland, Solanke. I might get away with it if I'm lucky. If Solanke doesn't play, Cole Palmer comes off the bench. But, you know, this is where you start to lose it, where you don't pick your team. And I forgot to do it 2 weeks in a row. So, you know, you reap what you sow, really. I don't even know if Estebanan is starting for Brighton. He is. Well, I've got away with it there. Lamptey's back in as well. I reckon I've got Lamptey on my bench. No, I haven't. I got rid of him. I got rid of him, to be honest. So, there we go. Right. I had a dream where United got beat 82-0 by City, says Dark. They'd have to go some to do that. What happens to the win, lose or draw video, says Andrew? Oh, a little bit... My fault, not Ben Foster's fault. My fault. I missed 1 week because of the NFL, and then the next week I forgot to check everything. So we missed 2 weeks in a row, and I was just like, "Fuck it, I can't be arsed." So yeah, we made it to February. Should get rid of Martial and kept Veghorst, says Colin. Noam says what happened to a win, lose or draw as well. So yeah, sorry about that. I think I've upset a few people with that, but you know what? I take full responsibility, which is it's just one of those things, isn't it? You know, in this life, you sometimes just have to take full responsibility. We're 3 minutes away from kickoff here, by the way, so get ready for that. Oh no, that's not what I want to do. That's not what I want to do. Come here. Come here. Would you come here to me? That's not where I want to be. I want to be here. It was that one, isn't it? I think. Okay. Yeah, get your score predictions in. Let me know what your thoughts are. Multitasking here. I can't wait to eat that dinner later, though. I'm starving. You know what? What? I'm absolutely starving. Oh, okay. I've already had 2 sausage sandwiches at lunch and some Cadbury's chocolate. And I'm still really hungry today. I don't know why. But I am. Hashtag deal with it. Hashtag deal with it. Right. Wonder if this is going to work. Right, how are we doing? Shout out to the interview with Lars. Huge fan of your content and the True Geordie content. It was nice to see him looking back in a happier place. Says Raj. A lot of people ask me about that. Look, I like Brian. I've always liked Brian. True Geordie. I reached out to him when it all went wrong. And I reached out to him about that interview. And I said to him, look, hopefully, you'll see that it's actually very complimentary. And, you're very welcome to come on and give your side of the story. I don't think he would do it. He didn't even respond. He read it. He didn't respond. So I'll leave it at that. But, yeah, I would love to have that chat with him. But I don't know. I've tried, even in the heyday, I tried to get Brian to do that sort of a thing and he wouldn't do it. So I don't, it is what it is. It's absolutely fine. People can choose to do what they choose to do, can't they? Right, we're ready to go here. I'm going to get a timer going for you as well. There's a lot to sort out here. I feel a bit... Oh, there we go. That's fine. Loads of games. If you want to get involved, Origi to score, says Asuna. Hello, Justin. Hope you're doing well. Pinocchio says Madrid or Barcelona. I actually don't care. Would you ever play Football Manager again, says Slip Run? I would. I really enjoyed it, yeah. Ox says, what you having for dinner? I'm having that, mate. I'm having that. And it's absolutely banging. You could have it too. Get 60% off your first HelloFresh order. Get on with it. With the code Football24. Links in the description. Right, we've got your timer going there. I don't know what's going on with my... let me just refresh this for you. Where's the new graphic as said on the podcast, says Darren. All right, Darren. Bloody hell. Give us a minute. Bloody Darren. It's always Darren. It's always Darren. Sticking his bloody nose in. It's here, mate. Look. And the reason Brentford-Chelsea is probably 0-0 is because it's not up and running yet. I don't know what's going on here. Why is Newcastle and Wolves not populated as well? Look, this is a new graphic. This is coming in through a really good stats provider. So let's just wait and see how that pans out. But it doesn't say. Brentford and Chelsea have kicked off as well, by the way. We're keeping an eye on the Liverpool Forest game here, and Forest have got an early corner anyway. So let me just go back to this and see what it does. There you go. I don't know what Newcastle Wolves is not populating, so let me sort that one out. I've got a team on the edge, ready to go. Unless they've started later. Let's have a quick look. No, Newcastle and Wolves have been playing for 2 minutes, so Brentford Chelsea did start a little bit later. But we'll keep an eye on that. Chill out, Darren, says the chat. Yeah, Newcastle Wolves is not populating. I don't know why that's happening, but we'll keep an eye on that. I'll tell you the score anyway. Mark, did you make any more children last night? Says Otto. Bit weird for a football channel, mate. A little bit overfamiliar. Any chance you're doing Villa versus Spurs next Sunday? Says Flores official. I'll tell you what. There's a bloody massive chance. It's Mothering Sunday, which means it's Mother's Day. And I've already cleared my diary. I said, look, work comes first. Villa against Spurs is a massive game at 1 o'clock, and so is Man City Liverpool at 3:30. I feel sorry for the mothers out there next Sunday, because if you've got a football-loving son or husband, forget about it. Yeah, you're not being taken out for dinner. Forget it. You might get breakfast if you're lucky, but yeah. No chance. I'm not missing that for you. So I play football with Darren Carter and he thinks I'm gigs, says Umzi. Thank you very much. So yes, we will be doing that. 2 big games next Sunday. 2 very big games. Abs is working all day anyway. What's it all about anyway? What's the religious point, or who invented Mothering Sunday? That's a great question. I mean, I've got nothing against mothers. We all need one. But, you know, who invented it? Anna Jarvis of Philadelphia originated Mother's Day. On May the 12th, 1907, she held a memorial service at her late mother's church in Grafton, West Virginia. Within 5 years, virtually every state was observing the day. Oh, what a fucking waste of time. You see, this is what... You know, when you look at the origins of things, you realise how things that happen in your life today are based on very flimsy reasons. You know, so basically this woman in Philadelphia wanted to commemorate her dead mother, and now we all do it. I mean, it's a nice thing to do. I'm not knocking Mother's Day, but also Father's Day. What's the point? Who invented Father's Day? Here we go. This will be even funnier. Father's Day was inaugurated in the United States again in early 20th century to complement Mother's Day in celebrating fathers. Father's Day was founded in Washington in 1910, who was by Mr. Dodd, who was born in Arkansas. Oh, what a fucking waste of time. What an absolute waste of time. So both invented in America, nothing wrong with that. Both invented in the early 1900s. And basically, some woman in Philadelphia wanted to commemorate her mother. People copied it, and then men said, we need one as well. What a crock of shit. What a crock of shit. I mean, realistically. May as well have been invented by bloody moonpig.com. I'm going to invent a new day. It's going to be commemorating grandparents. I'm surprised we haven't got that yet. Grandparents' Day. Grandparents' Sunday. I actually think Mother's Day is sexist. In 2024, where, you know, we've all got our pronouns and everything, why is it Mothering Sunday? It's sexist. And Father's Day is sexist. So I say get rid of one and just call it Parents' Day. Then you're discriminating against people who don't have kids. It's a legal minefield. Just ban it all. Get rid of it all. Anyway, thanks everyone. It's still 0-0 in all the games going on at the moment. Loads of games. Liverpool got a chance to whip a cross in. headed away. There actually is a Grandparents' Day, says James. Thank you very much for that. Khalid, I do look at TikTok. Yes, I've just looked at it. Sorry. I look at lots of comments. Thank you. Thanks very much for the follows. I'm just concerned what's happening here. We're trying this out. We won't really know it works until we get a goal. Newcastle Wolves is a glitch. I'm sorry about that. Don't know what's going on with that. But we've got no goals going in the Premier League as of yet anyway. We'll be keeping an eye on the National League for the Solihull Moors, the home of the Goldbridge Arms. Bagsy says we should have a woke day. Is that not every day? It is according to Joey Barton. I saw Joe Barton this morning losing his shit about Saturday Social on Sky. And then Simon Jordan was losing his shit about Football Focus. I mean, you know what my thought process is on it? They're not very good. They're not very good. I don't think there is an infinite pool of talent out there. And I think there's just too much content now. You know, you've got Sky, TNT, TalkSport, YouTube. There's just there's too much football content out there and not enough talent, really. And that's why, you know, you end up with a lot of shit. But this Liverpool game's quite open, you know. It's Liverpool against Forest is quite open at the moment. Thanks for the follow, Ian Jones and Suarez. I thought Forest, well, yeah, I don't think United were much better, but I thought Forest were a little bit dull at the weekend. If you want to become a member and get your badge in, by the way, we are trying to, it's nice to see Peter Gaskin, who's a member, do a poll on Mother's Day ban or keep it, says Peter. Oh, mate, I'm not doing that. I'll get shut down. Is he like a day for pube hair? Pube hair Thursday. Mate, there is weeks. You do get weeks like fish and chip. No, we do actually get these things. Every now and again, I'll listen to the radio and it'll be like, today is National Fish and Chip Day. Yeah, you do get that shit. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. Umzi, Flores Official, Darren Maguire. Appreciate those. Especially the one from Dark, who says, I have a dream that United are going to get beat 82-0. Birmingham are winning at the moment, says Lee Berman. I think Birmingham are playing somebody quite decent as well. Yeah, they're at home to Southampton, so 1-0 early days. Birmingham City have scored, and the goal scorer, who'll never get a shout out on one of these streams again, is Miyoshi. I feel I'm coming down with something as well. Nina Hardman, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Miguel says, your parents' pronoun argument is really stupid. Didn't know I'd made an argument about it, Miguel, to be honest, but this is what I mean. You say something about pronouns and you immediately offend somebody. Unintentionally. That's the world we live in, isn't it? Unintentionally offend about 10 different people instantly just by saying a couple of words. Obviously, certain words can offend a lot more people than that, but Liverpool moving the ball around nicely. Football Fanatics has got the flu. There's a lot of illness going around at the moment. Pancake Day actually does have religious connotations, Harble. It's to do with Lent. And basically what Pancake Day is all about is where you get rid of all your treats and eat them. And then Ash Wednesday is when you have given up those things for Lent. Mike says the new generation is soft. Well, whatever. I'm not saying you're wrong. But wouldn't it be great if we had an early goal in the Premier League? No goals. Brentford, Chelsea, Everton, West Ham, Brighton, Newcastle. No, Fulham, Brighton, Newcastle, Wolves, and obviously Tottenham Palace as well. Surely Tottenham are going to win today. Surely they're going to win today. The Tottenham team today is unbelievable. Bissouma and Bentancur. Maddison ahead of that. Son, Kulusevski and Werner. And then Adogi's at left back, and then they've got Van der Ven and Romero. I mean, they're pretty much their best team. I think Porro's the only one who's really out at the moment. Van der Ven's down, says Sean. And Ali says Forest are awful. Dense Dog says, I think the Brentford manager could replace Klopp. What do you think? No. He's got absolutely no style of play that would suit Liverpool at all. I mean, Brentford live off about 30% possession. It's not good enough. But look, in relation to the title, I think that this game's a really interesting game. Liverpool are sort of in that zone at the moment where everybody's expecting them to win because they've done so well. But I think it's a difficult game for Liverpool, this. You know, when you look at the actual injuries they've got. Did you see this? On TikTok, Goldbridge trying Guinness 0. A lot of people said you clearly didn't like it. Just from the face. Yeah, I can see what they mean. I did like it. I did like it. But a lot of people said you didn't, but I did. It was just a little bit flat for me. I don't watch Formula 1. Ryan B and Danny, thanks for the follows, by the way, on TikTok. Make sure you subscribe if you're on YouTube. Got nearly 10,000 watching, and we are on the road to 114,000. So please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Still 0-0 in every game in the Premier League at the moment after 15 minutes. I've had these Saturday afternoons before. We all have. Bohemian and Delivery, thanks for following, as well as Asnek. Van der Ven looks like he's injured, says Terp. It's snowing in Milton Keynes, says Zodiac. How have there not been any goals, says Pat. If anyone's watching the Spurs game, let us know about Van der Ven, because that would be a crushing blow. We've got an early goal here, and it's typically in the Newcastle game. It's Isaac who has scored for Newcastle. So Alexander Isaac scores for Newcastle, puts them 1-0 up against Wolves. I told you, don't go against Wolves. Sorry, don't go against Newcastle at home. A lot of people, Wolves are a good team, and they are. But Newcastle at home, don't bet against them. They know what they're doing. And Isaac has got the early goal there. I don't have any Newcastle players in my fancy Premier League team from what I remember. Yeah, I took Gordon out. So, no. No good for me. But Forrester on the attack here. It's a shot. Oh, I tell you, it wasn't a bad shot by Origi against his former club. Long way out. Kelleher dived, but it went wide. Isaac with the goal. 1-0. Do you need this?
What?
What are you in here for? Why is your face so cold?
I went outside in the hail.
Is it hail?
No, it's a bit of snow.
Bit of snow?
Yeah.
Good. That's what life's all about.
Yeah.
Seb's in for his cameo, Phil Mitchell. You know why Seb comes on his cameo? Because he thinks he's going to get... he thinks he's going to be a massive YouTuber when he's older. But he's not decided whether he wants to be one yet. I said, oh yeah, the choices you have in life, it's amazing. You can just pick what you want to be. Liverpool versus United score prediction in the Cup, says McDab. Depends on who's available for Manchester United. Newcastle are the only goal scorers so far, but it's 1-0 at home to Wolverhampton Wanderers. And typically, it's the one game that... oh, we have got... Hey! Newcastle. There it is. 1-0, look. There it is. Hey! Up the technology. You know the rules. It's working. Big shout out. Liverpool versus McDab. Yeah, Liverpool versus United score prediction in the Cup. Who knows? Who knows? It's too far away to consider that. I've already explained what happened with win, lose or draw. I missed a couple of weeks, and then I think when you miss a couple of weeks, the integrity of the game sort of disappears. So we bend it. But I really won because I was winning anyway. That's the way I look at it. Although some would say, well, that's not how it works either. Right, National League, here we go. Any goals? Oh, come on, where are you? 0-0 with Eastleigh. Solihull Moors. 0-0 with Eastleigh. Birmingham are still beating Southampton. Lots of games postponed actually today. Had a red card between Huddersfield and... Well, it's finished anyway. Boring. Don't know why I mentioned that. What's that all about? Where's that gone? Oh, God. Oh, got too much going on here. There he is. Tim says that Everton are playing really well against West Ham. Thank you, Tim. Oh, what the fuck's going on here? Oh, no. There we go. That's fine. It's all right, I've lost one of my chats. That's what I'm doing. There it is. There we go. Gary says, we know you're secretly a Liverpool fan. Mate, you couldn't be further from the truth. Do you think Xavi is still favourite to replace Kindergarten Klopp? I didn't know he was. I didn't know he was. As an American myself, I have to ask about Anthony Robinson. Which Big Six team do you think he could fit in well with? I love your content, says Flores. I think he's a fantastic player. I really do. The Fulham left back. And I don't know how old he is, actually. If anyone in the chat could let us know how old Robinson is at Fulham. Because I really do think he's one of those players that every time I watch Fulham, he really does impress me. Could he play for a top six side? I think that it's possible. 26. Yeah, I suppose it's funny how you judge it on age, but yeah, he's. I don't know whether he could play for a top six team. I'll tell you what, I'd take him at Man United right now. He'd be starting for Man United at the moment, but I think he's more of an understudy, isn't he? I don't think he's going to get bought by a Man United or a Liverpool to play as the starting number six, as a starting left back. No, I really don't. Liverpool just whipped in a decent cross, but it was cleared quite well. Werner's just missed a sitter, says James. Just on the Tottenham game, if you're interested, let me just go around the grounds and give you a little bit of stats so you can see where the momentum is. 82% possession for Spurs, only one shot so far, but dominating the possession there. Newcastle, of course, are 1-0 up against Wolves. Statistically, Wolves have had a little bit more of the ball, 3 shots to 2 in Newcastle's favour, though. Obviously, it's very difficult to sort of predict that those stats are telling us a fair story of the game. But Fulham, Brighton, 68% possession for Brighton. But Fulham have actually had 2 shots to Brighton's 1. Everton against West Ham. We did hear earlier that Everton were playing well. Well, they've had 52% possession, but West Ham have had 4 shots to Everton's 1. So, you know. And Brentford, Chelsea. I would say Chelsea have had loads of possession here. Brentford don't like it. 24% possession for Brentford, 76% for Chelsea, but they've both had 2 shots each. So we've got a goal coming in. And it's a goal for Fulham. We were talking about Brentford. We were talking about Brighton. We were talking about Brighton having 68% possession. Well, possession doesn't mean anything if you don't put the ball in the back of the net. Fulham have put the ball in the back of the net. Are you a believer? Because it's believer for Fulham. 1-0, 8 minutes. Oh, no, that's a yellow card. And he plays for Brighton. Oh, God. You're absolute twat. Belieber got a yellow card after 8 minutes. Harry Wilson. He's not part of the Beach Boys. He's part of the Fulham Boys. And it's Harry Wilson, assisted by Rodrigo Muniz, who's in my Goldbridge, actually, this week. And it's Harry Wilson with the goal for Fulham. 1-0 there to Fulham against Brighton. There we go. Miguel Reyes says, if people in the UK started adding more seasoning in their food, they'd be a lot more happy and friendly. Wouldn't you agree? Says Miguel. Well, look, what would you describe this as then? I mean, that is an absolute banging bit of British culinary, I would say. Steak with peppercorn sauce, rosemary Hasselback potatoes, roasted carrots and tender stem. Plenty of seasoning on that, mate. An absolute banging Saturday night dinner for Goldbridge. From HelloFresh. 60% off with your first delivery from HelloFresh. Get some nutritious meals delivered to your door with ingredients and recipe cards. Links in the description. You can't beat... I'm defending us there. Hi, Mark. It will be a miracle if we win the Premier League with all the injuries we've got, says Becky, who's a Liverpool fan. I will be happy if we win the Europa League. Then Klopp won every cup he can. Be nice if Man United beat Man City, says Becky. Forest have just had a one-on-one. Kelleher's just made a big save from a one-on-one. So, Becky, your chat was well-timed because that should be 1-0. Big save by Kelleher and a big miss. It was Anthony Elanga who was through one-on-one. And I'm looking at the chat to see if I see goal, and I didn't. It was a massive miss. And, you should be scoring that. You should be scoring that. It's a big save by Kelleher, who I think's been very impressive since he came in for Alisson. But you've got to be scoring those chances. It's absolutely massive. Through one-on-one, Kelleher makes the save. And this is what I mean. I think this is what Becky's talking about. Liverpool are down to the rag and bones, aren't they? They really are. And... bare bones, not rag and bones. They are. They're down to the bare bones. They've got so many players out, and it's a very competitive Premier League. Somebody said he would have been offside anyway. Would you consider doing watch-alongs for the F1 since a race is happening now? Says Les. I have done Formula One in the past on this channel, and I did quite enjoy it, but. It's boring. It's really boring. I don't watch it even for fun anymore. I think Alanga would have been offside judging by what people are saying in the chat. But Formula One is a long time to watch something that's inevitable. And I don't. In a race, it's always about who wins. I don't really give a shit who comes third or fourth or a constructors' championship. I care about who's winning, and it's boring. And it's boring when you've got a car that's just better than everybody else. Gary says, what's your score prediction for the Manchester derby tomorrow? Says Gary. Thank you very much. I think Man City will win, but look, I'm looking forward to it. Ghoster says football's boring. Well, it's not as boring as Formula One, and I like Formula One, but I don't watch it when it's boring. Don't upset Formula One fans, though. There's a few of them in the chats. They're getting really fed up. Unlucky. So we've had 25 minutes here in the Premier League games. We've got a goal at Newcastle, 1-0 there, Isaac. And we've got a goal between Fulham and Brighton, 1-0 there, Wilson. Still 0-0 between Tottenham and Palace. Still 0-0 between Everton and West Ham, Brentford and Chelsea. And obviously still 0-0 here. One thing I would say is, how are we doing in relation to stats for this game so far? So 24%, 76% possession for Liverpool. Not had a shot on target yet. Corners, quite an equal game. Quite an equal game, I think it's fair to say. But you know, you've got to win these sort of games, and I would be fair to Liverpool, and I would say that it's nowhere near their best team. That midfield of Clark, Gomez, and McAllister, it's nowhere near even their third or fourth choice midfield, is it? So if they're going to lose points, it's going to be because of the injuries, isn't it? But there's a long way to go. Get Will to do WrestleMania watch along, says Darren. I'm sure he'd love to do it. Liverpool have just had a big chance as well. Football Edit says, what a block. Fell to Diaz, who I think I've got in my Goldbridge prediction if you listen to the podcast. And you'd have expected him to score, but he didn't. Blocked at the death by Forest, and it goes for a corner. I am reading the TikTok chat, yeah. TikTok, YouTube. So when my eyes are going like that, I've got two chats. Thanks for the follow, Tanu. Rooney says, I can't believe that Werner didn't score. Is that a green screen? What, behind me? No. I binned off green screens ages ago. Boring. Look. There's some sort of magical green screen if I'm picking stuff up from it. Liverpool's goal, second half, the bench is stacked, says Hulls. Well, Liverpool do have Nunes, Szoboszlai on the bench, and I think they've got Endo as well. But I think it's one of those games, isn't it? Be interesting. That's just remarkable defending from Van Dijk. It's a decent cross into the box, near the 6-yard box, and he just nods it back to Kelleher. And, you know, really, Solihull are losing. Fuck off. Tom, thank you very much for the update. I'm just checking if he's telling me the truth. But why would he lie? Why would he lie? When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. It is 1-0 to Eastleigh. Bollocks. Jacko and Tim, thank you very much for your follows. Waterlogged pitch for Bradford. Ellis and MR, thank you very much. I mean, a lot of people asking me about the Manchester derby tomorrow. By all means, ask me, but don't try and get me to start going, yeah, we're going to win. We've got loads of injuries, and we're playing a team that is still considered to be the favourites for the title and just won a treble. And I mean, I saw a headline. I mean, this is talk about. I saw a headline this morning, right? Huge injury blow for Pep Guardiola ahead of the derby. And I blame myself. I blame myself because it wasn't on the BBC. It was on like a footballing website. And I thought, don't do what they want you to do. Don't click it. Don't click it. But I clicked it. So, huge injury blow for Pep Guardiola ahead of the derby. I'm thinking, Haaland, you know. Guess who it is? Guess who it is? Jack Grealish. Huge injury blow ahead of the derby. A left winger I don't even start. Yeah. Vicario's just made a big save, says Anglin, and I just thought, you know, this is just shite, absolute shit. As if that's a big injury blow ahead of the derby. And have you ever noticed what they do on those articles as well? They're trying to get your eyes on the article. So what they do is they'll go huge injury blow for Pep Guardiola ahead of the derby. So you click it, and then you'll get a paragraph of Manchester City face Manchester United tomorrow in what's a big game for Pep Guardiola in the title race. Blah, 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 blah. Second paragraph, and last time out, Man City won this game. So they'll be hoping to do it again. Then an advert, like some sort of picture advert. And then, third paragraph, they tell you the fucking story. Daniel G says, you clickbaited Ronaldo being banned. Well, I didn't, because he actually was banned. So that's not clickbait, mate. Sorry, you need to figure out what it is. I would pick Grealish over Doku, Iron. In fact, let's do a poll on that. I think this is a good either or. Where are all the either ors? Grealish. Doku. As a Chelsea fan, Kovacic better than Enzo. Controversial, says Ujwal. Oh, I've always been a big fan of Kovacic, Ujwal. We've got another Fulham goal. It's 2-0 to Fulham, and I think Newcastle have made it 2 as well. Keep your eyes on the board here. Yeah, Fulham 2. You can see it up on the screen there. We've got a couple of goals coming in. If it's Muniz, I'm having a laugh. It is! It's Rodrigo Muniz. What's the importance of this? He's in Goldbridge. He's in Goldbridge. Will is going to be devastated. Sit down, Will. He is. I've got Diaz, Gordon, Son, Muniz, Rashford, Diaz, and Dubravka. And he's got Bowen, Richarlison, Bailey, Saka, Foden, Dawson, Raya. Muniz scores again. Well, it's role reversal. Wilson received last time, and from Rodrigo Muniz, and on this occasion, Rodrigo Muniz receives from Wilson. This is not porn. This is football. We're talking about assists. 2-0 to Fulham against Brighton. De Zerbi again, you see. De Zerbi again. 2-0 down after 34 minutes. Newcastle are 2-0 up. Anthony Gordon against Wolves. Don't write off Wolves. Do not write Wolves off. That's always the story. I always say, sorry, don't write off Newcastle at home. Never predict it. There you can see 2-0 and 2-0. I did have Gordon in it. Delboy says, Gordon up my FPL. I did have Gordon in it. Scholes or De Bruyne? Scholes. So, still 0-0 between Brentford and Chelsea. Still 0-0 between Everton and West Ham. Still 0-0 between Spurs and Crystal Palace. Still 0-0 between Forest and Liverpool. But we've had 4 goals across 2 games. Fulham 2-0 up against Brighton and Newcastle 2-0 up against Wolves. "35 minutes gone. Pavlina wants Man United to win tomorrow. Of course you bloody do. Favourite decade of football, says Call Me Dizzy. The 90s. Yeah. Yeah, the 90s. 100%. I don't think they can. I mean, I've never been asked that question before. I can't remember being asked that question before. Tell me your favourite decade of football and why. But yeah, 100% the 90s for me, because going into the 90s, United just weren't that good. Won our first Premier League title, first league title at the start of the 90s. Premier League started then. Won the FA Cup in 90 and then finished the 90s in 99 with the treble. So, it doesn't get much better than that. How many Premier Leagues did we win in the 90s as well? I'm just trying to think who else won it in the 90s. Leeds in 91, Blackburn in 95, Arsenal 98. So we must have won 7 titles in the 90s. Yeah, Blackburn 95. Oh, no, we didn't win it in 90, did we, either? So we would have won it in 92, 93, 94, 96. Yeah, we must have won it 6. Chelsea have scored. Chelsea have scored. We've got a goal at Chelsea. Well, it's not at Chelsea. It's at Brentford. And you know what? He's bad. It's a thriller. I'm talking to the man in the mirror. It's Nicholas Jackson. 1-0 with an assist from Gusto. There we go. Close range finish with a header. 1-0. Chelsea lead at Brentford. We'll take a look at the league table as it goes round as well. But goals are starting to go in here. Daniel Higgins says, if Liverpool drop points today, do you think it ends their title chances? Not if they beat Man City next week. Shamone says, Smith. I think Liverpool do need to win this game today, of course. But as long as they don't concede first, I sort of agree with people in the chat that they'll be stronger in the second half with what they've got on the bench. Lucas says there's an Everton goal coming in any minute. He hasn't got some sort of insight. It is still 0 there. Gunnar Hill, thank you very much for the follow. We're approaching half time. Yeah, 100% 90s for me. Apparently I've been corrected that Man United actually won 5 titles in the 90s, and I'm confused myself by this because I'm trying to think how that actually could be, because I suppose it's what you class as the 90s. Well, I would say any year ending in a 90. So Arsenal won it in 90. Leeds won it in 91. No. I know what I've done here. I've played the game. I know what I've done here. It's my fault. Goldbridge, you're a twat. Well, I'm not a twat. I'm just, it's not easy to sort of... So, actually, I'm getting mixed up because the Premier League started in 92, which means our first league title was 93. So, Leeds won it in 92 in the old Division 1, meaning Arsenal won it in 91, meaning... So, Liverpool 90, Arsenal 91, Leeds 92, Premier League starts, Man United win it 93. We win it in 94. Blackburn win it in 95. We win it in 96 because we did the double, beating Liverpool in the final. We win it in 97. Arsenal do the double in 1998. And then we do the treble in 99. So we won it 5 times. In the either or, on the poll, you've got Grealish 53% to Doku. I agree with you. I prefer Grealish over Doku. I think there's more levels to his game. Sam Brayshaw wants to do an either or. It's a little bit niche, but that's what we're not discriminatory here. He wants to do Robinson of Fulham, not that way, and Estebanan of Brighton, who post-injury has been a little bit off. But Sam, I've done that for you. Some good questions coming in. Appreciate it. Danzo says, what's Mark talking about? I was just talking about my favourite decade of football, so the 90s. But I thought that United won it 6 times. 5 minutes to go in these games. I'm enjoying this. There's so much football going on. I'm enjoying this. 2-0 to Newcastle at home to Wolves. 2-0 to Fulham at home to Brighton. Chelsea are leading 1-0 at Brentford. Everton are still 0-0 at home to West Ham. Obviously, Forest and Liverpool is 0-0. And Tottenham is still 0-0 with Crystal Palace. Tottenham need to win this game. You know, I think they're favourites for top four now, but you've got to win these sort of games. They've had 83% possession, but they've only had one attempt on goal. Crystal Palace have had 3 shots, none on target, but Spurs aren't creating much here, which is rather baffling, I would say. What about the 80s, Mark? Wasn't really old enough to remember the 80s in any great detail. Jack says, why have you ever not done a video exposing Howson and McCullough? Well, time. That I don't think enough people would be interested, for one, but I haven't done a video exposing anybody. I mean, I really enjoyed the Loz interview, but that was more about, I really think that Loz needed to tell his story. And I think it was done in a very respectful manner as well. So, you know, these expose videos are a little bit... There's always another side to a story, isn't there? That's why I think that those sort of things are a bit... They've got to be done in the right way. And I thought the way Loz did it was the right way to do it, because he, you know, was very fair about Brian and the other lads, so I thought it was good. I enjoyed doing it. Hi Mark, hope you're well. I love your content. I want to support you and the team. Fingers crossed for United tomorrow, says Jake. Yeah, we'll need a lot of things crossed tomorrow. We really, really will. Troz actually on TikTok says, what's your honest opinion on the game tomorrow? Yeah, I think Man City will win. Here's something for you. I mean, I don't know whether anybody's aware of slippers. So these are my old slippers. Perfect. They're a bit worn, but they are brilliant. I love them. Bit grandad-ish. Not really. They're brilliant for keep-ups and volleys. And thermo warmth inside, right? Got these ones for Christmas. John Lewis. Very nice. Very good. Good grip. 2 problems. You can't play football in them, and I don't really like not having a back on it. Favorite slippers. There you go. We've got a penalty to Everton, and apparently it's controversial. I don't know whether we can get more of an update on why it's controversial, but we do have a penalty in the Everton game. I'm sure it'll be on TikTok soon. Penalty, Everton. Keep us updated. Handball. Oh, God. Dodgy handball, says Jamie. I would say you don't even need to see it, everybody. I mean, I haven't seen it, but I would say you don't even need to. Thanks for the follow, Blue and Garth. Yeah, I would say you don't even need to see it. Never a penalty, says Jacob. What is a handball anymore? Just Jackler says it was, his arm was out. I wouldn't say it's dodgy. There you go. Thanks, mate. Hope you're doing well. But Purple Butterfly says it was very dodgy. Of course he's gone and saved it. I bloody have got Areola on the bench. What a tit. But I'm dumped. I'm sure is Areola in goal for them? Yeah. Penalty saved. Big, yeah, well, at the end of the day, these are big misses. These are big misses for Everton. They need these goals to go in. Afternoon, Mark, babes, says Hannah. Afternoon, Hannah, babes. Are you a dressing gown person? No, I've never been a dressing gown person, actually. I like slippers, but I'm not a dressing gown person. Never, never. have I been in a dressing gown person. Just even when you're staying in a nice hotel, just not about that, really. Not about that life. Robinson Esteban is actually quite a good either or. I was mocking it before from Sam, but it's actually quite good. We're about to hit half-time in the Liverpool game, and we're probably about to hit half-time in a lot of the games. But remember, Liverpool do have a strong bench. Copite says it's really strange seeing an Origi running around for a team that's not Liverpool. Pavan says he liked pyjamas when he lived in the UK. Where do you live now and what changed? Who was better, Giggs or Hazard, says the Football 454. Well, you're only going to get one answer from me, Ryan Giggs. Lucas says they checked for a retake on the penalty when both of his feet were on the line. Typical. Mark, have you been to Zimbabwe? Says Himanshu. Mate, I haven't been to Norwich, let alone Zimbabwe. Beto missed the penalty as well. Thank you very much, Rub, for the update there. We are starting to hit the half times here. It's half time at the City Ground between Nottingham Forest and Liverpool. Let me just whack that on for you so you can have the half time scores on the screen. But we are about to hit half time. It's half time. Actually, Liverpool Forest is the first half time we've had come in at the moment. But, yeah, more to do in the second half for both of those sides. But Newcastle and Wolves winning very, very, very comfortably. Lee Berman, one of our members, says, just seen the Everton game. No way should it have been a penalty. So justice has been served, according to Lee. Who will have the most achievements at the end of their career? Salah or Saka, says Liam. What's Salah's Wikipedia page? Champions League winner, Premier League winner, and a few domestic cups. So, yeah. I mean, look, it doesn't mean Saka's a better player if he wins more than Salah, of course. You know, there's players out there that just don't play for the right teams, isn't there? Are you going to do a watch-along with Arsenal on Monday, says Albion? I don't know, because I think it's just such a straightforward win for Arsenal. But we'll see. I'll keep an open mind on it. I will keep an open mind on it. Just waiting for the half-times to come in here. Half-time between Brentford and Chelsea. 0-1 to Chelsea. Thanks for the follow, M2 and Haha and Nell as well. Who do I want to go up from the Championship? I don't really care. I'd like to see somebody come up who's actually decent. Instead of teams that are just going to go straight back down. But... yeah, I don't really care. It's 0-0 between Newcastle. Sorry, it's not 0-0. It's 2-0 to Newcastle against Wolves. It's half-time in that game. I'm just having a check on Solihull Moors. They were losing 1-0 to Eastleigh. They're losing 2-0 to Eastleigh. Fuck a duck. That's not a good result. Especially when Eastleigh are a mid-table team. Bloody hell. It's getting tight as well. It is getting tight. They're doing their best. They're doing their best. Birmingham are beating Southampton 2-1 at half-time. Half-time in all the Premier League games now, apart from Everton, West Ham. Maybe the penalty delay has caused that. So it's 0-0 between Tottenham and Palace, 0-0 between Forest and Liverpool, 2-0 to Newcastle at home to Wolves, 2-0 to Fulham at home to Brighton, and Chelsea lead at Brentford. Not quite half-time at Goodison Park there at the moment. So lots going on. Up the Forest, Marky says Mitch. And why are you interested in Solihull Moors, says Kieran? Well, it's my local team, you know, and it's a non-league team, isn't it? And I want them to do well. And I do a little bit of work with them as well. It's where the Goldbridge Arms is as well. It's based at Solihull Moors, which I probably just let out of the bag because I've never told anybody where it is as well. But you'll see more about that. Do you think Luton could stay up, Mark? I think if Luton are going to stay up, they've got to beat Villa. I mean, they've got to win. They've got to start winning games again at home. But I don't think they will. I think Villa are too. I think Villa are too good at the moment, to be honest. Yeah. Chelsea are a bit sweaty. Well, let's have a look at the league table. let's have a look how the league table looks at the moment, because obviously this is as it stands. And for most of the season, Chelsea have been scroll down FC, but welcome to the top 10, Chelsea. As it stands, they would leapfrog Wolves into 38 points. And the funny thing about Chelsea is that when you look at that league table, they are currently, if they win against Brentford, 6 points behind Manchester United, which I just find incredible. I think from 6th to 11th, it's just crazy. And you think about all the games that Chelsea have lost this season, and Man United, and Newcastle, and yet they've all got a good chance of still getting into 6th place, which from the seasons they've had wouldn't be a bad salvage job, would it? But interestingly, Spurs, they need to beat Palace today. They've got such a big opportunity with United losing to Fulham last week, and they didn't play last week. There's such a big opportunity for Villa and Spurs to just, take away any risk of anybody catching them. And I still do believe that 5th place will get Champions League football. I do. I think that the English teams will do well enough in the second half of the season in Europe to get that 5th place as well. I've played the game, says Uranus. Never thought I'd say that before. Mark, are you doing Luton versus Villa tonight? I'm not. FPL tips. I've got a lovely dinner that I'll show you in a minute that I'm cooking, and then I'm on Talk Sport, so I won't be doing Luton Villa. It's not really the sort of game that I would normally think, yes, I'm definitely going to do that, if I'm being completely honest with you. But let me just tell you, we are sponsored by HelloFresh. Scan that QR code next to me and get a fantastic offer. 60% off your first HelloFresh box, plus 25% off for the next 2 months. And you get 3 special items. What is HelloFresh? Well, it's a culinary adventure delivered to your door. You can order yourself 3, 4, 5 meals to come to your door, and you've got yourself sorted for the week. 60% off with the code FOOTBALL24. Link in the description, or scan the QR code. I've had a fantastic week myself. I've had things like this: stir-fried honey sesame seed beef noodles. I've had this as well, which is sambal teriyaki chicken stir-fry. Lovely stuff. And had this on Tuesday night: rosemary and garlic lamb steak. I've been feasting this week, and it all comes to an end with a 21-day aged beef fillet steak and peppercorn sauce with those lovely potatoes, carrots. I'll be cooking that straight after tonight. So fantastic. And you can get 60% off delivered to your door with the code FOOTBALL24, and then 25% for the next 2 months. Check it out. HelloFresh, delivered to your door. Fantastic food. And I can't wait. That's what I'm tucking into tonight. So I won't be tucking into Luton and Villa. I'll probably have it on the telly while I'm doing it. Maybe have a bit of a glass of red wine as well. Right. Thoughts on Greek food, Mark, says Dan. Let me know. What you got? Don't just say thoughts on Greek food. Tell me what you're offering up. I do like sambuca. I haven't drank it for a while, but that's not food. Greek food. Well, I like a Greek salad. Bit of feta. I think that's Greek, isn't it? Feta's quite a nice cheese. But what else do you do in Greek? Lamb koftas. Sounds nice. Yeah. I thought that was Turkish. Sambuca's Italian, Mark. Sake. That's what I mean. Sake. Have you heard of Chechnik from Moscow, says Umzil? No. Moussaka's very nice. I do like a good moussaka, yeah. Yeah. Sake's Japanese. Okay, I'm getting really bad here. Ouzo. That's it. I get there in the end. 3 guesses. I've been watching a lot of The Chase recently. Ouzo, isn't it? Ouzo is Greek. Yeah. He means Ouzo, says Dom. That's the one. What did I say? I said sake, which is Japanese. Sambuca, which is Italian. We got there in the end. Yeah. It's ouzo. Yeah, it's nice. Quite like it. Apparently that's Turkish now. Oh, well. There we go. Saki sounds like a footballer. I'm trying to think. Canastella's better than them all, says Sambo. So anyway, back to the football. Some big second halves to come here. As I say, that league table for Liverpool, 61 points they'd be on at the moment, which would mean Man City would go top if they win tomorrow. So Liverpool need to be winning games like this to keep that gap open ahead of Super Sunday next week, where Liverpool entertain Manchester City. Arsenal obviously play on Monday night. I'd expect them to win. If Liverpool draw here and Arsenal win on Monday and Man City tomorrow, Liverpool will be third come Tuesday morning. So that's the interesting nature of it, isn't it? You know, Liverpool could be top if they win, no matter what happens. But if they draw, they'll probably be third on Tuesday. So big 45 minutes coming up for Liverpool. Big 45 minutes coming up for Spurs. They need to be beating Crystal Palace. And of course, the chasing pack, well, I suppose, Newcastle still will harbour hopes that they can get up the league. Chelsea themselves as well. So, look, interesting second halves coming in. Mark, who'd make the best police officer in United, says the Football 454. I've got no idea, mate. I've got no idea. Thoughts on Indian food, Mark? Says, well, actually, going back to that question, you'd want somebody with a bit of an inquisitive mind, I suppose. So, somebody creative. Thoughts on Indian food, Mark? I think we all love the Indian food, don't we? Smart Messi fan. Can't beat a butter chicken. Naan bread, pilau rice, sag paneer. That was a sneeze and a half. I need Liverpool to win, but I didn't realise so many players are injured. This is what you are, what you eat. Well, I think Liverpool's problem is going to be next week, isn't it? I don't know what's going on. I mean, this is the problem that Liverpool have got. It's just relentless football. They play Sparta Prague on Thursday night. I mean, you just don't need... This is what I mean. I said this to Liverpool fans before. You don't need that game on Thursday. It's an absolute... You're playing Man City on Sunday and you're playing Sparta Prague in Prague on Thursday. You don't need that game. You really, really don't. It's Champions League week, isn't it? But I just think it's a complete and utter ball ache to be playing in the Europa League for Liverpool. But especially when they've got all those injuries. Yeah, interesting. Top three, Liverpool won't have stamina, it seems, says Callum. Diaz to score soon, says GJ. Well, if you listen to the podcast, which I'm sure some of you legends do, we play Goldbridge on there, where we pick 5 goal scorers for the weekend. A defender, where you get 3 points if that defender scores, and then your goalkeeper for a clean sheet. So I'm already doing well. I've got Diaz, Gordon, Son, Nunes, and Rashford. So I've got 2 already. I've got Gordon and Nunes, both already scored. And if Diaz and Son score in the second half, I've got 4. Will has got Bowen not scored, Richarlison injured. He's not having a replacement either. Bailey, who's later, Saka Monday, Foden tomorrow. And then he's got Dawson as his defender and Raya is his goalkeeper. I've got Dubravka as my goalkeeper, who is on a clean sheet at the moment. So doing quite well. You shouldn't laugh at people losing, Goldbridge. Oh, well, I should, because it's all about the wins, isn't it? I think Dubravka is in goal. Somebody just said, yeah, he is, yeah. Yeah, he is. Good stuff. Thanks for the follow, Itfak. Thank you very much. Speed says, do you think Man United can win tomorrow? No. I'm not expecting it. No, not expecting it. But you never know. But no, I'm not expecting it. God, the Formula One is such a waste of time. Have we got a... Let me just have a look. Somebody just said what's going on in the Formula One. I will tell you at the moment. Well, Verstappen's winning. Let's have a look if I can just tell you how much he's winning by. Boring. Absolutely boring. Boring. He is 17 seconds ahead on lap 34. That's just boring. It's boring, lads and ladies. It's really, really boring. Perez is in second, Red Bull. Sainz is third. Leclerc is fourth. Piastri is fifth. Hamilton's 10th. Norris is 9th. And Russell is 7th. It's boring. I wouldn't even waste my time watching Formula 1 this year. Absolute waste of time. Is Eric Ten Hag trying to play both a high line and a low block, says Colin? Well, he doesn't want... Well, he has to. He has to. Players are coming out for the second half. Becky says, next Sunday, it's my husband's 50th birthday and wedding anniversary and Mother's Day, so I might not be able to see the Liverpool versus Man City game. Help. We can bin Mother's Day off if you're a mother, Becky. Your husband, if he likes football, will be happy to watch the football. And you're both married. So you could kill 3 birds with 1 stone there. Easily. Easily. Just depends whether your husband likes football or not. If he doesn't, you are screwed. Second halves are about to kick off here. Well, I say second halves are about to kick off. It's only the Liverpool one because they finished first. But we'll keep you up to date with what's going on. Rasmus says, big up Solihull Moors, big up Life, big up Earth, big up Mark Goldbridge, you know the rules. Thanks, Rasmus. Sanjid says, Dan Ashworth meets Graham Potter. What are your thoughts on this? Well, he's a prat if he's thinking about giving him the Man United job. SN says, Mark supports Forest and lives in Nottingham. Mate, I haven't lived in Nottingham for over 20 years, so, you know, sorry to ruin your fictional story, but I don't live in Nottingham, and I haven't lived in Nottingham for over, well over 20 years. I didn't even live in Nottingham when I grew up. I lived in Nottinghamshire. I was closer to Leicester. But believe whatever makes you sleep well at night, mate. Don't let the truth get in the way. It is 2024. It'd be interesting to see when Liverpool make some substitutions, actually. Yeah, but going back to your problem, Becky. 50th birthday is your husband's. Wedding anniversary is you and your husband. And Mother's Day is yours. Mother's Day, you can just say, I'd rather watch Liverpool. You just need your husband on side. If he's on side, you're laughing. Mark lived in the Shire. You're a hobbit, says Jake. Pages says, I just heard on TalkSport the biggest game in the Premier League is City versus Liverpool. Well, it is at the moment. But any game that's got City in it isn't big because they just don't bring much hype. Even their own fans know that. City just don't bring hype. Liverpool-Arsenal would be a bigger game if they were at the top because they bring hype with them. Darren Davies says, you and Alan Partridge should be a tag team. Okay. Biggest game in Premier League history is Arsenal United, says Graham Souness. I did used to love that rivalry. Thanks for the follow, Football AM. Still half-time in a lot of the games. Still half-time Everton West Ham. Still half-time Fulham Brighton. Still half-time Newcastle Wolves. And still half-time Tottenham Palace. 3 minutes into the second half of Forest Liverpool. And Brentford Chelsea are up and running as well. Thanks for the follow, Valentina. If you're on YouTube, by the way, please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We are only 100 away from 114,000. I don't like that. Just don't worry, I'm talking to myself. No, look, times change. I'd love to sit here and say that the biggest game in the Premier League is Man United against Liverpool because I think it should be. But you don't get that right if you drop off. And Man United have fell off for 10 years. So Man United-Liverpool is not the biggest game in the Premier League anymore because It's like the Manchester derby tomorrow. It's not got the spark that it maybe has because Man City are so much better than United. You don't just get it on... You've got to work for it, haven't you? Liverpool should have scored, and they haven't. It was a big chance for Liverpool. Andy Robertson, but somebody else before that swung a foot at it as well. It should have been 1-0 to Liverpool. Big chance. Robertson puts it wide. It was taken off Diaz's foot. They had loads of men on the line, though, Forest. Darren Maguire says, Mark, I saw the video on TalkSport with you, Gabby and Alan Brazil. Came across to me like bullying, which was really cringe considering they're grown men. Yeah, it is what it is. Khalid says, the biggest watch game up to 800 million viewers is Liverpool against Man United. Interesting. I tell you what, though, Liverpool are starting to do what I've seen Liverpool do so many times this season. It's almost like the Jurgen Klopp conga at half-time. They've just gone up a gear in the second half. He gets them going, doesn't he, at half-time so often. I think I'm getting a cold. My nose is starting to run. Goal for Brentford. A goal for Brentford. Chelsea fans, look away. We've got a goal for Brentford coming in. Hold your horses. Is it going to be Tony? We'll have to wait and see. But it's definitely flashing up for Brentford. This is bad for Chelsea, isn't it? But it's good if you don't like Chelsea. It says 1-0 Brentford against Chelsea. Let me get the score up for you on the screen. That's really quick on there. That's really fast. Really fast. 1-1 Brentford at home to Chelsea. It's Rasmussen. Rasmussen has equalised. Mads Rasmussen makes it 1-1 for Brentford. Chelsea were looking at a good result. They can still get one, but it's 1-1. They're probably back outside the top. Scroll down FC again. They're like Jon Snow. We're dead. We're alive. We're dead. We're alive. We're top half. We're bottom half. Desarcy's getting some shit in the chat. I don't know what's gone on there. Ronan says, I know English referees are terrible, but the Lazio Milan game yesterday had 3 red cards, all for Lazio because the ref's ego was hurt. Oh dear. Well, let's hope we get some more goals in the second half. What's your favourite book to read, says Stallion. Oh, I've read some good books over the times, but I quite enjoyed The Beach. I think that was one of my favourite books I read because I was probably sort of late teens when I read it. And it was like, I was living away from home at the time and it was just quite, yeah. I did like it. The film's okay, but the book's very good. I haven't read it since. It's escapism, isn't it, The Beach? As an architect, I would say that renovating Old Trafford would require so much changes that the soul and spirit of the original stadium could easily be lost, says Liquid. There we go. Thanks, mate. Brentford have just hit the post, says The Bridge. Well, Liverpool are the team pushing here at the moment. Keep an eye on Spurs as well. Big game for them needed. They need a big win here. Well, they don't need a big win. They need a win. It's getting to that time of the season, though, isn't it now? Not quite do or die, but certainly momentum is needed. And also, at what point are we going to start to see Klopp chucking on the likes of Szoboszlai, etc. I think we might have a goal for West Ham. No. No, we haven't. Be careful. Be careful what you wish for. We haven't got a goal for West Ham. Poch is the media darling, says Louise O'Donoghue. He never gets in trouble. And thanks for the follow, Doyler and Bailey Ward. There was talk of a West Ham goal. I can confirm we haven't had one. Thanks for your follow, Mans. Kieran Trippier's gone down injured, says Hilsey. What happened with Van der Ven? Did he go off? Good point. I never ever came back to that. Don't know. I don't think he did. No, he didn't. So the Van der Ven injury wasn't bad. He played on. Wrexham are winning 4-0, says Jason Jackson. I said Wrexham were going to get promoted. I said it. And I was right. Well, I'm not right yet, but I said they'd go straight up. Jack says, up the Villa. I fancy you to win against Luton. Sandra says, what's your score prediction for tomorrow? I think, man, I mean, I'm not looking for... It's a difficult one tomorrow because it's one of those games where, obviously, I'm doing the watch-along on United Stand, and it's one of those games where there's no other game on, so a lot of people will watch it because it's Sunday afternoon, and, you know, I can see situations where Man City are comfortably winning and everyone, you know, it's just a long afternoon, so... Yeah, I think no penalty for Spurs not being given. I think it's going to be a long afternoon for Manchester United, really. It'll be a long afternoon anyway because we just won't be able to get hold of the ball. But yeah, I fancy Man City to win it. Son hit the post, says Johnny. Looks like Spurs are pushing for that goal. Average Noob says, I'll be ready to take the dog for an angry walk when it's 3-0 to them. It's a tradition. And Endo and Nunes are coming on for Liverpool. So Klopp's going for it now. When's Salah back anyway? I mean, they really are going to need Salah back for that game. Against Man City next week. Salah's back next week, says Mist. He will be back for City, says Moon. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. You can do that through the $ if you want. Liquid said Architect. Yeah, we've read that one. We're all caught up then, aren't we? I haven't missed any. Yeah, cool. Klopp said next week. Rick Astley says, I think Liverpool are going to drop points here because they've not won since the last 13 games at the City Ground, but they still look favourites. Andy Robertson's just picked up a yellow card. Arsenal play on Monday night, don't they? There must be another game tomorrow then. Oh, it's Burnley. Fuck that. Not watching that. Burnley. Join me tomorrow for the biggest watch-along of the year. It's Burnley against Bournemouth, where I couldn't give a shit. No, not doing that. Next weekend's good. Next weekend is very good. You've got Man United Everton at 12:30 on Saturday, I think. And then on Sunday, 1 o'clock, Villa Spurs, and then Liverpool Man City. Double watch along. Can't wait for those. Well, I can, but you know what I mean. They're good. Kieran says, what happened to win, lose or draw? It's my fault. I've took responsibility. I'm not doing it anymore. I missed 1 week because of the NFL, and then I forgot the next week. So, yeah. Everton goal. We've got a goal for Everton. Get off your seats. If you're an Everton fan, of course. I tell you what, I've got... Oh, no, I haven't. I've got some of my predictions right. But Everton have scored. They missed the penalty in the first half. It was potentially dubious that they got a penalty anyway. But Everton are in front here, and it's 1-0. The goal scorer is the penalty misser. I'm sure many of you don't have him in your FPL team anyway. But it's Beto, assisted by James Garner, and Beto has scored for back of the netto for Beto. 1-0 to Everton. Do you still rate Mount, says V-Man? I'd like to... can I just wait until he actually starts playing games again? Because it's a long, long time. Adamski says, surprised that Leicester are losing 2-0 at home. Well, Southampton are losing to Birmingham 2-1. And you're correct that Leicester are losing at home to QPR 2-0. So could be potential shocks at the top of the table tonight. Thanks for the follow, Kieran. Who do you think is going to go down this season, says Mason? Well, I think Sheffield United and Burnley are gone. And Tudor says QPR have been playing well. Palace have scored! Palace have scored! This is a big goal. This is a big goal if it counts. Very big goal. We'll keep an eye on it. But Eze for Palace, still a long way to go. Still a long, long way to go. But Palace have scored in the 60th minute. They've had 19% possession. But across the game, Spurs have had one shot on target with 81% possession. Palace have had a shot on target and they've scored with it. And it's Eze who has scored for Crystal Palace. I hadn't given Crystal Palace a chance today. Looking at their lineup, I didn't even know whether Eze was going to be fit. He has been. And they lead 1-0. New manager, of course. No Roy anymore. They drew at Goodison, didn't they? And they're winning here at Palace. Not at Palace, that would be ridiculous. They'd be winning against themselves. They're winning against Spurs, and it is 1-0. Goal given. Still plenty to go. Still plenty of time to go. Oz says, have you heard this morning that United are linked with Duncan? And then he's come up with a second name that, you know, he basically says McCockiner from Rangers. Yeah. Oz, I don't fall for that sort of shit anymore. It's not 2017. We've got a goal for Solihull Moors as well, says Zalin. They're still 2-1 down. I won't get too excited. Ariola's just made another worldie. It's all going on at the moment, although it's not all going on in some games because there is no goal for... I think this is the only game that's 0-0 now. Forest and Liverpool is the only game 0-0. Palace has scored at Spurs. Obviously, Everton are leading at West Ham. So we've only got 1-0 going on at the moment. Liverpool have made some changes. Nunes is on. Endo is on. Solihull Moors have made it 2-1. Still time. Still time. Origi's coming off for Forest. Hey, I'm not getting... John says, can you unblock me on United Stand? I'll behave. It's very hard to do it once you block John. It just gets lost in a massive list. It's hard to go and find people. I saw a meme on Instagram, says Bart, that Liverpool had more likes on Twitter for the Carabao Cup win, 207,000, than City for their treble, 137,000, and I had to laugh. Well, I was laughing the other week. When I thought it was a joke that Man City, when their players turn up on the bus, they've got a mic guy going, and here he is, Pep Guardiola, give him a cheer when they're announcing. It's just false, isn't it? I still think there's plenty of time for Spurs, by the way. I mean, that would be a massive result for Villa, United, Newcastle, anybody that's trying to chase Spurs down. If they were to lose to Palace, it would be huge. But there's a long way to go. I mean, Spurs are more than capable of scoring a couple of late goals with 5 minutes to go. So, long way to go yet. How many Man United players get into the Man City 11, says Ricardo? Well, I can answer that question by telling you I haven't done a combined 11 for Man United against a decent team in a long time. I swear every Palace goal is a screamer, says Ronan. Hey, it's all going on here. We've got a goal for West Ham. Somebody said Seamus Coleman's just scored a screamer. He bloody hasn't. He certainly, definitely hasn't. Because let's have a look if they've got it on here yet. No, they haven't. But I can tell you it's a goal for West Ham. And it's Zuma. Cats, look away now. It's Kurt Zuma with the equaliser for West Ham from guess who's got the assist. The same guy who seems to get assists all the time. It's James Ward-Prowse. And Kurt Zuma has made it 1-1. Alanga's just missed a big chance for Liverpool, for Forest, by the way. Lots of goals going in at the moment. Big goals as well. Brentford equalised against Chelsea. West Ham have equalised against Everton. Crystal Palace are beating Spurs. Still remains 2-0 to Fulham against Brighton and 2-0 to Newcastle against Wolves. And still 0-0 in this game as well. How many players do you think for Man United get into the Man City 11? Honestly, I mean, I was trying to think if there's anybody that could get in there, and I don't really think there is at the moment. Honestly. Headliner 98 says Gareth Southgate was asked about Ward-Prowse and he said I just can't be bothered. I think if Luke Shaw was fit, you'd put him in, but he ain't fit, is he? What's your dinner tonight, says Jack. Well, that was well timed, Jack. It's almost like you know that I need to say or remind people that we're sponsored by HelloFresh. Get 60% off with the code football24. Scan the QR code or go through the link in the description. Get 4 or 5 meals or 3 delivered to your door next week and plan out some fantastic meals that you can cook. And I'm cooking this tonight. That's my Saturday night dinner. 21-day aged fillet steak and peppercorn sauce with carrots, tender stems and some lovely potatoes. All the instructions on the back. All your ingredients delivered to your door with HelloFresh. Get 60% off with the code football24 and then 25% off for the next 2 months. Lovely stuff. I'm ready to eat it as well. I'm bloody starving. Well, there'll be a few people. Rubbing their hands together here, and not just because of Goldbridge's lovely dinner. Licking your lips, maybe. I meant to say that. There'll be a few people licking their lips, and not just because of HelloFresh, but also because of the score lines at the moment. Man City fans will be looking at this Liverpool game. Arsenal will be looking at this Liverpool game and going, this is an opportunity with 20 minutes to go. Look, Aston Villa fans will be looking at that Spurs game and going, this is an opportunity. Even Man United fans will be looking at it and going, there's an opportunity here. Down at the bottom, Luton will be looking at that Everton equaliser by West Ham and saying, you know what? if we can beat Villa, we can close in on Forest and on Brentford. Although I think Everton, actually, if we're being honest, they're not really in a relegation battle anymore, are they, Everton? Because they've got a few points back. How come Man City don't have many players injured, but a lot of other teams have loads? P.S. Husband's not a football fan, says Becky. You're screwed then, Becky. Not literally by your husband. I mean, what you do on your anniversary and his birthday's up to you. But I mean, you're screwed because if it's your anniversary and his birthday on the day that you play Man City and he doesn't like football, you got no chance. Braun says, love your content, especially the watch-alongs. Keep it up. Thank you very much, Braun. Appreciate your super chats. Shane Smith says, divorce him. Hey, come on. There could be big reasons why Becky likes her husband beyond football. And I don't mean anything like that. You're all thinking about yardage and stuff. I'm talking about, like, might have a great personality, funny, all sorts. I can't speak. Chelsea fans, I can't speak. It's it ain't looking good, bruv. It ain't looking good. You might want to look away. You might want to look away at that top scoreline. There it is. It is. It's Brentford 2. It's Chelsea 1. It's a big, big goal. And it ain't looking good for Chelsea. It ain't looking good at all. 70 minutes. They were 1-0 up at half-time. It's 2-1. Izzy Wizzy, let's get busy. It's Wizzer. And it's 2-1 to Brentford. And this is a massively bad result for Chelsea if they can't turn this around. It really is. Apparently, it's a good goal as well. What a goal. All I'm seeing in the chat is what a goal. What a goal. Bicycle kick. What a goal. Damn, says Mindful. And Walsall are also winning, says Daz. There we go. Big updates are coming in. Chelsea absolutely shocking, says Richie Smith. Overhead kick, says Shoya. And they lead 2-1, Brentford now, against Chelsea. Just to run through the Chelsea lineup as well. I mean, look. They're such a weird team, aren't they, Chelsea? I've said it before. They're up and down like a bloody yo-yo. They seem to play better against teams that they're not expected to do well against. But Petrovic, Disasi, Chalobah, Colwill, Gusto, Chilwell, Gallagher, Casido, Fernandes, Jackson, Palmer. They shouldn't really have excuses. Well, they don't really have excuses, actually. And yet here they are losing. Hi, Mark. Can you explain why the United City game tomorrow is at 3:30 and instead of 4:30? I'm at work, so we'll miss the first half. Gutted. I think it was something to do with the police applying for special dispensation, and I would presume it's to do with crowd trouble or something. Well, it's season over for Chelsea, isn't it? They've got a slim chance of climbing the table and getting into some European competition. But, oh no, they're still in the FA Cup, aren't they? They are in the FA Cup. Who have they got in the FA Cup? I can't remember. But, do you think Ashworth's going to come in the next 2 weeks? Says Connor. Mate, I don't want to know what he's doing in his sex life. That's disgusting. Absolute filth. What we're a football channel. Leicester apparently have scored. Liverpool are still 0-0, Adam. When's career mode coming back, says Matt? Well, it was going to come back on Friday, but then the Loz video did so well that I just left it. I've just left it. I mean, it's got 500,000 views. So I left. I'll leave it for a bit. Probably do it next week now. Lucas says that Areola's having the game of his life. No, I think Dan Ashworth will be appointed as Man United Director of Football in some capacity in the next week or so. I just don't know. I don't know when he'll actually start. Uh, 3-1. Solihull Moors are definitely losing. They've conceded 3 goals now. Not a happy home life. Yeah, 3-1, that's over. Forget it. Don't tell me about Solihull Moors anymore. They're definitely going to lose. Anyway, we've got about 20 minutes left in these 3 o'clock games, and Liverpool still haven't got their goal. Where's Premier League here? There we go. So, 2-1, Brentford leading against Chelsea. Everton 1, West Ham 1. Fulham 2, Brighton 0. Newcastle 2, Wolves 0. Forest and Liverpool 0-0. And still, Spurs losing to Crystal Palace. Plenty of time there, 73 minutes in that game. They're about 3 or 4 minutes behind the Liverpool game. But a few shock results coming out here. Potentially. Just once with some breaking news. Says this is the final season for Klopp. I don't know. Sir Bosley's come on, says Eric. If Liverpool weren't to win this game, the real winners for me would be Arsenal. Because obviously Liverpool play Man City next week. So Arsenal would probably hope for a draw in that game, and they could start to open something up at the top. Apparently the Villa lineup is out. I will tell it for you. Aston Villa, Kaminsky for Luton, Mengi, Burke, Bell, Kabore, Clark, Barkley, Doherty, Townsend, Chong, Morris. Quite a attacking side, that. Aston Villa, Martinez, Cash, Konza, Longley, Moreno, Bailey, McGinn, Douglas Luiz, Jacob Ramsey, Tillemans, Watkins. That's a strong Villa team, and especially now they've got Konza and Longley back in the centre-back position. I think that's no coincidence that Villa will be stronger now. I'd fancy Villa to win that, but Luton at home, you just don't know. Thanks everyone who's tuned in, by the way. Thanks for the follow from G-Boy as well on TikTok. And if you're on YouTube, please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, we're only 50 away from 114,000. So click that subscribe button. In for an intense last 15 minutes here. Robinson beat Esteban with 54%, by the way. If anyone's got... I'm going to do an either or here. I'll do a good one here. You want one, I'll give you one. Either or. I can't think of one now. Trippier or Porro? That is a good one. Straight off the top of my head. Trippier or Porro? Stretch time. I haven't stretched enough, and I've got a bad back today. I always have a bad back on a Saturday because I wake up on a Saturday morning and I don't get up straight away. I put the telly on and I lie flat. And that's no good for my back. That is a good one, says Peter Gaskin, one of our members. Big up the members. Thank you very much. Get your badge in by clicking the join button. Wow, there's a few... well, I've still got about 15 minutes left, to be fair, so I wouldn't get too excited yet. I think Spurs are missing Porro. How long is he out for? I mean, I know they've got a lot of players back, and it can't be an excuse, but I think they really do miss Porro. He's actually a massive part of their creative going forward, and yeah, I think they have missed him a lot. Solihull have scored. It's 3-2. Mark says Rasmus, don't give up yet. Well, I won't. Be a bloody good point from 3-1 behind. 3-2. Have you seen June 2, says Tom. No. Just once says it's really hard to choose between those two. That's why it's a good either or. Brentford apparently just hit the post. Thanks for the follow, Pompey. You can join me on that United stand tomorrow for the watch along, the Manchester derby. Tottenham have equalised. Werner. Told you there'll be a late winner coming in there as well. (1-1). He missed a big chance in the first half. He's not repeated that. It's 1-1 and it's Timo Werner. You can see a late Spurs winner now, can't you? I told you there was a long way to go. Long way to go. Fennec, yeah, sorry, I'd done it. Sorry. I was scanning down and I thought it was, yeah, we're on the same wavelength. Thank you. I mean, Spurs, if you look at Spurs lineup, they should be beating them at home. They should be beating Palace at home. Do we know if there was an assist on the Werner goal? No, I don't. Thanks for the follow, Scott. Johnson assisted it for... Brennan Johnson assisted it. Josephine and user 599359, thanks for follows. Trippier, I think I'm going to have to give it to Trippier against Porro. So 1-1, Spurs and Palace. 2-1, Chelsea are losing to Brentford. 1-1, Everton West Ham. 2-0, Fulham Brighton. 2-0, Newcastle Wolves. And I think Tottenham have scored again in quick succession. They've done it from 2-1 down, from 1-0 down to 2-1. Tottenham have turned this around. I said I thought they would. There was a long, long, long way to go. And Tottenham have made it 2-1. I haven't been told who the scorer is yet, but we've definitely got a goal coming in. Romero, 81st minute. They've got so many good players, though, Spurs. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, only 10 away from 114,000. Thanks, everyone who's tuning in. Well, look, lots going around in other games, but Forest-Liverpool is 0-0. And it would be a good point for Forest, to be fair. And it would be a really bad point for Liverpool. I think Chelsea have equalised as well. Big point coming in for them. Big point for them. Big goal for them. I mean, look, it could all change around here. Couple of minutes ago, Spurs are losing at home to Palace. Chelsea are losing away to Brentford. There's still time left in these games, and he was getting a lot of stick. But it's Disasi who's equalised in the 84th minute here. Chelsea 2-2. Disasi with an equaliser. Defenders delivering here. Birmingham, remember they were beating Southampton. They were losing 3-2. I think they've just equalised to make it 3-3. They have. All sorts of goals going in at the moment. So now it's 2-2 between Brentford and Chelsea. Spurs are winning 2-1. Still no goal between Forest and Liverpool. Everton are drawing with West Ham, which actually isn't as big as big a result as it was meant to be, because Everton have obviously got points back on the board now. I am on TalkSport tonight, Lee. 7:30 till 9. Get your calls in. Be live on YouTube as well. Got to go and cook this beautiful dinner first. Nice glass of red. You can't beat it. Big day tomorrow. Dan's hasn't scored for Liverpool. He's been booked for Liverpool. Tom says, why don't you have a co-host on TalkSport? Is that your choice? That's a good question, actually. It was never really offered up to me, but it's hard to do a show on your own on radio. No, I'm not bigging myself up, but it is. When Rory stepped in for me, he said, fucking hell, that's hard compared to doing it with somebody with you. I enjoy it. I mean, I suppose you get more interaction with the calls when you do it on your own. I'm starving. I'm absolutely starving. I can't believe this is going to take me 40 minutes to cook it. I think I'll have some popcorn while I'm eating it. I'm not telling you my name, says Liverpool are bottling this. I don't think you can say Liverpool are bottling this. You know, the number of injuries that they've had and the team they started with, it's obviously it's a challenge for them. But having said that, also they've got they've got to try and figure a way out, haven't they? Because it is 2 points dropped. Ricky would be an excellent co-host, says John. He would. TS says, stop forgetting that Man City's got to go to Anfield, so it's not over. I think this as I said, this could be a really good result for Arsenal, because I mean, I don't want to put any pressure on Arsenal. It's the same as last year. You don't want to put any pressure on them because they're the third. I think that they're everybody's third favourites to win the league. But, you know, Arsenal could be second on Monday night if they beat Sheffield United and Liverpool don't win here. But if you look at Arsenal's next few games, considering Liverpool play Man City next week, Arsenal's next few games in the league, Sheffield United, Monday night, you'd expect them to win that. Then it's Brentford at home. Then it's Chelsea at home. Then it's Man City. Then it's Arsenal at home. So they've got a really good... I mean, look, they've just got to make sure that they're absolutely ready for that Villa game, for that Man City game, and win everything else. Oh, Chelsea Arsenal's been postponed because of the cup. Well, that's more time off. That's more time off for them, isn't it? Kanye says, Mark's following championships games. Is everything okay? I'm just keeping an eye on them, mate. It's Saturday 3PM's, isn't it? I mean, I do like doing Saturday 3PM's, but there's a lot going on. A lot going on. Birmingham have had a man sent off as well. 3-3 with Southampton. Leicester are still losing 2-1. 2 minutes to go against QPR. Ipswich are beating Plymouth 2-0. Nunes tries to get a shot off. It's blocked. How's your FPL team doing? Good question. Ryan says, have a great weekend. I love the show. Thanks, mate. Points for me, 8. 2 for Son, 6 for Kelleher. Yeah, I haven't really got many playing, to be fair. Watkins later. He's always good for a few points. So, yeah. Thanks, everyone who's tuning in. Make sure you subscribe and give us a follow as well. Love that. Eight minutes added on for Liverpool. There was a lot of, I think, to be fair, a lot of that came from... Tottenham have scored again, by the way. Don't know whether that's been picked up by anybody. No one's mentioned it in the chat, but Tottenham have scored again. It's 3-1. But yeah, the goalkeeper went down for Forest. He got barged by Dans. So, yeah. But Spurs winning this comfortably in the end. Third goal's gone in. Will there be a late goal at Chelsea? At Brentford, sorry. Can Chelsea turn it around? I don't know who the third goal's gone in for from Spurs yet, but 89th minute. That game against Villas next week is big, isn't it? Son. I've got Son in my team, actually. So, it's not all bad. I saw a lot of people saying Son, and I thought it was Solihull. Oh, it is! It is! Paul Irwin says Solihull have scored! There's an equaliser for Solihull Moors! Up the Moors! They were 3-1 down away from home against Eastleigh. I tell you what, they don't give up. Up the Moors. It's... can we have it confirmed before I start celebrating? You can. You can. 2-0 down at half-time. 3-1 down in the second half. It's 3-3 in the 90th minute. That's a big goal, that is. That is a big equaliser. Up the Moors. Up the Moors. Do you think Pedro Neto would be a good fit for Liverpool? Yeah. I think it'd be a good fit for anyone. Josh says, come on, Forest, hold on. I just don't think Liverpool have done enough to win it, have they, today, really? Still got 4 minutes to go. I hope I haven't just jinxed it, by the way. But I just don't think they've done enough today. They've... You've got to give Nuno credit. It's been a fairly equal game, and Liverpool just haven't... Look, maybe it's a game too far for all the problems that they've had. Carabao Cup, FA Cup, midweek. There's a lot of games. There's a lot of games for them to play, and it is a bit of a threadbare squad, as we know. And there's a lot of games still to come. They've had the possession. I mean, the amazing thing for Liverpool is, when you look at the stats, 70% possession, 19 shots to 6, only 1 on target from 19 shots. Now, that's either because of Nunes just had a big chance from a corner. That was a good save by the keeper. But heroics at the back from Forest. There's been a lot of bodies there, been a lot of blocks there. It wasn't even Nunes who headed it. It went off a Forest defender and he had to react to it. So Fulham are 3-0 up. Oh my God. Everton fans, look away. Everton fans, look away. It looks like West Ham have won it at the end. Traore has scored for Fulham to make it 3-0. But I believe West Ham have got a late winner at Goodison Park in stoppage time. It's not good for Deitch. It's not good for Deitch. I mean, he did get some points back this week. And it's a good job they did. Because they've lost again. It's Soucek. In the 91st minute. West Ham lead at Goodison Park. Big, big goal for West Ham. Apparently Newcastle have scored as well. Yeah, there was some late goals going in here. A lot of late goals going in here. Newcastle have made it 3-0 as well. Good big win for Newcastle. Time running out for Liverpool. It is 3-0 to Newcastle. I'll tell you the score in a minute. Livramento. Good player. Good player. I've played the game. He's a good player. Yeah, Deserby ball in the bin. Few people trying to tell me that Solihull Moors have scored a late equaliser, but they haven't. They've got a late equaliser. They haven't got a late winner. It's still 3-3 there. I will not be defeated by the chat. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Colin says that at the end of the day, Forest had more shots on target than Liverpool for all their talk. There's no penalty coming in. Solihull Moors scored a late equaliser. People are saying it's 4-3. It's not. It's 3-3. That should be it. 8 minutes. Solihull did score, but it was offside, says Chung. There you go. I tell you what, people are talking about a Liverpool goal. And unbelievable. 98 minutes and 30 seconds, Nunes. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable. Big says play until Liverpool score. Play until the final fucking whistle. I mean, what are Forest doing there? 98 minutes. 98 minutes. We're basically in stoppage time of stoppage time. And that's massive. That's absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. Nunes will be gutted with that. I can't speak. I can't speak. Forest had chances to get rid of the ball as well. Cross comes in. There's no offside. There's no offside. That's a goal. I'll tell you what, I'm just glad United aren't in a title race, because if I was an Arsenal fan, forget Man City fans, if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be absolutely gutted with that. You know, the longer the game goes on, the more you start to believe, don't you? The longer the game goes on, the more you think, oh, maybe not. Maybe today. Last second. That's how titles are won. That is how titles are won, because that's the sort of thing that wins titles. You know, they've got hardly any players in their midfield. They're injury decimated. And a point compared to 3 points in this title race is absolutely huge. And yeah, massive, absolutely massive goal. And the referee has blown the final whistle. That is unbelievable. Some people are saying 8 minutes for what? That's huge. That's absolutely huge in the title race. Chelsea have drawn with Brentford, by the way. Fulham have lost. Fulham have beaten Brighton 3-0. Newcastle have beaten Wolves 3-0. Liverpool with the latest of late goals, the late show. And Tottenham beat Palace. Everton have lost 3-1 to West Ham. They've scored another one in extra time, Alvarez. But massive goals. Massive goals. Look at that league table as well. I mean, just take a look at that league table for a moment there. And you'll see what I'm talking about with regards to the title. I mean, we're literally, I don't want to rub it into Arsenal and Man City fans, but we're literally seconds away from Liverpool being on 61 points. And then Liverpool win on Monday and they're above them. Are literally seconds away from Liverpool being on 61 points. Man City win tomorrow and they're top. I mean, the enormity of that goal and when it's been scored cannot be underestimated. It's absolutely massive. But Forest had the chance to clear the ball. They had the chance to clear the ball. They've done all the hard work and they had the chance to win it. Take that, you Man City cheat, says Colin. Becky says, oh my God, no way. How? And big result for Huddersfield earlier as well, says Jay. Morpay 89th minute winner doing the Cole Palmer celebration. I will be there, says Ronan. Well, look, I'm going to go and do a quick match reaction to that. I'm back on TalkSport on YouTube at 7:30. If you want to tune in for that, I'm sure there'll be a few Liverpool fans calling in for that. Nunes, says Christopher. I'll see you all later. Thanks for watching. Massive end to this stream and that game as well. And massive implications on the title race.